Yeah, I think the other thing, I'm curious your take on this too, is when should you be giving advice versus just listening? That is so hard for me, I have to say. When one of them comes to me with, especially when it comes to like mean girl stuff at school, it drives me nuts. And the things I say to them, I can tell it's not registering because it's me as a 40-something, like talking about it with all this wisdom that they don't have. But I'll say things like, that girl is peaking. Like she's peaking right now. You think that she's everything, she's peaking. Like, trying to teach them that, what they think is the end-all be-all in their world is not, or saying things like to them like, you can't care about what so-and-so says to you. But I remember being in 7th grade, 8th grade, and whatever so-and-so said to me was Bible.
Think about how small their world is. Like, their world is a lot bigger because they have the internet and everything else.
I hate
but
that.
When you're at that age, your world is that age, and that is all that matters to you. And that's what's hard is just how small your brain is at that point in your life. You have no experiences, you have no idea there's so much more to life that's going to happen. And and then they're also exposed to these kids that talk about their depression, and everyone has depression and anxiety. And so then they get sucked into, and I'm not saying it's not real, I'm just saying that they almost get sucked into this deep dark hole sometimes that they can't get out of. So I've been through all of this stuff, like all of that type of stuff, and it's very, very difficult to navigate. It is extremely challenging. But I guess my point is I try to talk to them as a friend and just listen as much as I possibly can, because you want them to tell you what's happening. And you try to remember what it's like to be a kid, and you try to give them advice to just not be a jerk and to be kind to people, even if people aren't nice to you.
That is a tough lesson.
It is. I don't believe in like, okay, that girl's a total bitch to you, so you should be that too. I always believe that
take the high road.
I do. I'm more of a high road person.
I am too.
I'm a high road person.
I am too.
And like, I was the one that like, if moms wanted to get together to talk about stuff, I would go. I was like, let the kids be kids, let them figure it out. I'm not going to tell them.
I love that.
Like all these kids how to be friends and what they should do.
No, they have to navigate.
Navigate it yourself. I'm not going to go meet you for lunch to discuss our kids. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. Like, I appreciate that you care so much about your kids. That's great. But I am not going to do that.
Did you get negative feedback back from those parents when you said no?
I just didn't.
You didn't care.
I wasn't really friends with a lot of them. That was the other. That was my other thing. Yeah, I wasn't really friends with a lot of them. And the other thing that's weird is, I did have an issue with my daughter, losing some friends, and one of the moms started to be weird to me, and I was like, I went up to her and I was like, hey, like, I like you. Whether or not our kids are friends,
it should have nothing
like,
to do with
doesn't
us.
affect you and me.
No, I agree.
Like, I'm not that person. Like it's all or nothing. Like, unless you're a really, really bad person or you did something really bad to my kid, I'm not going to be that way.
No, I agree.
And the other thing you have to realize with kids, 1 second they're enemies and the next they're best friends. That happens so much.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful
like
what you say, and you gotta be careful with the advice.
Whiplash.
Yeah.
100%.
They will I don't care how much they don't like each other, they're gonna be friends again. Because it's a small town and they have nobody else to be friends with, and they go through weird phases.
They do, but I do fear sometimes, because now I'm hearing from them, neither one sort of feels like they have their group.
That's really hard.
And that's really hard.
But you know what? So I went through that with my kid, and like, I was the only one at the time, very isolated. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I'm now watching all my friends who have kids that are now in the high school era, and they're going through the same thing. This is very common. And what I heard is that it's actually cool, like, it's like a thing to drop somebody.
Like getting canceled?
Yeah. Yeah, they like drop you.
And it's
they remove you from the group chat, the Snapchat or whatever, and you're like dropped.
How do you get back in?
I don't know if you ever get back in. Like I don't know. It's horrible. It's so.
Can you drop
mean.
the dropper once you get dropped?
Now you're the one out of the group.
I mean,
So then you'd have to create your own group, but then the other girls
if
are too
anyone
scared.
drops my child,
Well, you're about to enter the phase.
I'm gonna drop them
See,
on their heads.
that's what's hard.
Yeah,
You can't do that
I know.
because they're gonna be best friends again.
Oh, so you can get
You
inserted.
can. It just depends. So what happens is you have the leader of the
So
group that does the
complicated.
dropping.
How did they get picked as the leaders, by
They
the way?
chose themselves, I think.
That's interesting, right? When you think about that.
It's such a
That's an amazing lesson in like self-esteem or imposter syndrome or something. Like one day one of these little women just wakes up and is like, I'm gonna be it. How does that happen?
maybe it's like the drop or be dropped. You know, like
It's survival.
It's survival. Like I'm too scared of being dropped.
So I'm gonna be the dropper.
I'm gonna make a power move and drop this girl.
See, maybe I need to take a page out of this in like business. No, I'm serious, because as we were talking about taking the high road,
Yeah.
I'm totally with you on the mom front and on the kid front.
Yeah.
But part of me wishes I had not taken the high road so much in business.
Yeah. Yeah. Business is a whole.
Well, that's a whole other
different
topic. That's a whole other
That's a
topic.
whole
But you know what I
different topic.
can promise you?
What?
I'm never gonna drop you.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really sweet.
yeah,
I'm not really a dropper.
yeah.
I mean, listen. I am a walk awayer.
What's that? Oh, you'll walk away.
I do walk away. Yeah. I have no time in my life for BS anymore. I can't do it. I'm held together by glue, strings, like whatever it is.
Fake lashes.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So
yeah.
it's like I can't handle anything else. I've got enough to deal with. So it's like if you're gonna try to put any type of whatever, that's all it takes for me to just be like, I'm not doing that.
Not interested.
And it doesn't mean like forever or whatever. It just means I'm just not gonna buy into what you're selling. So I just don't have time for that. That's all. I only want to be surrounded by fun and good and happy and like obviously you have an issue, I'm there for you, but I just mean no drama, no crap.
Yeah, so similar to you, I have let go of people in my life, filtered, I don't know, I walked away, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it. And what I struggle with is there's always those friends that really need you.
Yes.
But they're always so negative. It's like everything's right? And you're always there, and it's 24/7, and you can call me at any time, but they're so negative.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you say that's gonna ever change the negativity. So what do? Do you stay, or do you
It's protecting your peace.
walk?
I mean, listen, like we all got our crap, and it's like sometimes you got to protect your own peace, and you have to make a decision for yourself. And it's like you can be there for somebody, but not give yourself in that capacity. Where you know, there's ways to do it without getting sucked into the negative. But
It's
I
too
literally
much.
it's like my body like reacts, and it's probably I would most likely say it's because of what you've gone through in your life. So you've gone through stuff
Yeah.
and you're surviving. Like for the longest time, it's called survival mode. And survival mode puts you in a whole different physical, mental place.
Yeah.
And because of that, you can't handle anything else. And that's literally where I've been. I've been in this place of survival for probably 3 or 4 years. And like, I feel like every time I start to feel better and I'm going to get out of it, something else happens.
Yeah.
It's been this like nonstop thing. And so that's why it's like, I work really hard to be like happy and positive and just like,
happiness is a
protect
choice.
my peace,
Yes.
Yes. So because of that, my tolerance for anything else is just a lot lower.
Yeah, I'm also, I cringe at myself. So right now I'm unemployed. It's not the best story. We'll talk about it in one of the episodes. But when I hear myself talking about it to people, like in a wah-wah, like I cringe on the inside. And I'm automatically like, but I'm positive and I'm hopeful and things are going to turn around. And there are some people who are so not self-aware of that.
Yes.
and I want to like bop them with the
Well,
self-aware
do you know
wand.
you know what, and what I will say is I was also that person. So I was the person that I was in a bad situation,
Yeah.
and it consumed my life. And so what else do you talk about? It's like the only thing to talk about. It's like, this happened, and you're just so freaking miserable and you don't know how to fix it. And then one day you wake up and you realize the only way I'm ever gonna stop talking about this is if I take my power back and do something to change the situation.
Right. That's right.
And it's that moment of putting your big girl pants on, where you're like, this has been in front of my face, I've been afraid to do it, I'm scared to do it, it's not what I wanted to have to do, but I'm so sick of myself, I can't take it anymore. And then you put your big girl pants on and you do what you had to do all along, and it sucks, and it's not what you wanted to have to do, but you had to do it because you're so sick of yourself, and so on and so on. And I feel like it's a similar type of thing. Like, you went through that with your marriage, you went through it with your job, and it's just like, it's a, you know, and so you gotta find your power. How do you find your power? You find this,
like that.
Yeah, I've had
enough. I like that.
I'm sick of my own voice. I'm sick of this. I don't wanna hear myself anymore. I wanna be positive. I wanna be happy. I don't wanna be that person.
Yeah, I never want to be that person.
Right?
If I'm ever that person, just
slap you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just back.
drop me.
No, just
Something. Yeah, because it's